Good morning, everyone. Good morning. There's 7 people coming in right now. Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for one more person that has signed up for this info session. I just want to remind you all that this info session will be recorded because this info session will be part of our Global Engagement Expo, which is happening today and tomorrow as well. So there are other events that you can check out as well besides this info session. For example, I saw this event for that the anime club is holding for the Global Engagement Expo as well. There are other events as well. Other like volunteer events, volunteer organizations are coming to give presentations and many other things that is just part of study abroad and global engagement. So if you have time, I encourage you to check them out. It's at our website at extension.fullerton.edu/study abroad. Okay, since it's 10:02 now, I'll be starting this info session now. Can everyone hear me? Is the audio fine from my side? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna get started soon. Just want to remind everyone that the session will be recorded. Keep yourself muted during the presentation. You can type your questions in the chat, and the recording will be shared on our website at extension.fullerton.edu/study abroad. All right, let's get started. So, sorry, it should be spring 2021, but welcome to the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Information Session, or the SAGE Info Session. 大家好，我的名字是 Aaron， 我是一个 Global Studies Ambassador。我今年是3年级的学生，我的专业是哲学，还有去年我参加了 Csu Taiwan 的留学计划。Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron. I am a Global Studies Ambassador. This year I'm a junior. I'm a philosophy major, and I study abroad at the Csu Taiwan National Taiwan University study abroad program for the 2019 to 2020 school year. And if you all would like to introduce yourselves, you can give your name, class level, and major. If not, we can just continue. Okay, we'll just continue then. I'm sure there'll be more people trickling in, so we can just go ahead and do all our introduction stuff here. Okay, so what am I going to go over in this info session? So in this info session, I'll go over basic study abroad and global engagement information, share my global Titan story. I'll answer any basic questions you may have. And the goal is for everyone to feel encouraged to participate in a global experience abroad, on campus, or online. At the end of this information session, you'll learn the different program options, the next steps following this info session, who to reach out for support and resources about campus global and different campus global engagement activities. If you signed up for this info session, you would have received a Dropbox link that has a bunch of flyers and handouts that go into much more detail than I can in this info session. So if you have that, that's good. Please take a look at that, or else if you don't have it, I can forward that link to you at the end of this info session. And of course, any questions you have, please drop them in the chat below. During, you can put them anytime during the chat, or at the end, you can unmute yourself and ask any questions, and I'll be able to help you. And I'll help you to the best of my ability. So we are the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Office, SAGE office for short. We're located in the Global Titan Center, that is T Hall 1123. Our email is sabroad@fullerton.edu. Our phone number is 657-278-2787, and our website is at extension.fullerton.edu/studyabroad. So basically, we're located all the way to the west side of the campus. We're like next to Troy High School. We're also like across the Titan Student Union, and we're basically to the west of State College Boulevard. It's kind of a weird place, but that's just where we are now. Once the pandemic ends and school reopens. And please follow us on social media. Our handle for Facebook is @CSUF Study Abroad, and our handle for Instagram is @Titans Abroad. From here, you can receive info and updates about new programs, application deadlines, scholarships, events, etc. And we post Instagram takeovers, Instagram interviews that other CSU students will do. So for more information, please see our social media flyer. And this is our Study Abroad and Global Engagement team and advisors. So right here we have Julian Kim. She is the Study Abroad advisor. She is one of the Study Abroad advisors. She advises students from the College of Business and Economics, the College of Communications, and the College of Engineering and Computer Science. She's also in charge of the academics portion for the Study Abroad program. She also is also in charge of the Gilman Scholarship, and she administers the Global Titans Buddy Program. The Buddy Program is basically a program where you, a local student, is partnered up with an international student, and the goal of that is you're doing a cultural exchange. You're getting to introduce yourself to them, and you show them American culture and the SoCal lifestyle, and in return they'll talk about their own culture. So you want to make international friends. Is a really good way to do so. I highly recommend it. And to the bottom is Eileen Vickery. She is another Study Abroad advisor. She advises students primarily from the College of the Arts, the College of Education, the College of Human and Health Development, the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. She is also in charge of financial aid for study abroad, and she administers the Global Titans Ambassador Program, which I am a part of. So the Global Titans Ambassador Program is basically a program where students, CSUF students who have studied abroad, can participate in this program to promote study abroad, to promote student engagement within study abroad, and just help out with the SAGE office in general. And all the way to our left here, we're going to introduce the rest of the team here. So all the way to our left here is Sherry Muriel. She's the director of the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Office. Right here is Jack Hobson. He is the senior director of the Global Titans Center. You've already met, I've already talked about Julian and Eileen, but right here is Abigail Segura. She is a programs lead for the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Office. And so we have a question right here. How do we sign up for the cultural exchange? So, I'll bring you to a part of our website later where you can research different program options. And from there, I'll show you where the link is for the Global Titans Buddy Program. Actually, the Global Titans Buddy Program is already in session right now, so I'm not too sure if Julian will still accept students, but I'm sure she'll be open to answering any questions about the Global Titans Buddy Program. Okay. Any other questions? All right. We're going to be moving on now. Okay. So, okay. All right. Let's take a moment. Yeah, there's a lot of information here, but it's not as hard as you think. Okay. So I want you to make two distinctions. So first is study abroad versus global engagement. And the second distinction is CSU, CSUF programs and non-CSUF programs. So let's start with the first distinction. So study abroad is a traditional 4-credit international program of varying lengths. That means you're studying abroad. You're going to a foreign institution to study for a semester or a year, and you're earning credit there. Meanwhile, global engagement is a credit or non-credit bearing programs or activities that occur abroad within the US and its territories or virtually. So basically it's all your volunteer programs, internship programs, research programs that are held abroad or domestically. And you can find both types of programs in both CSU and CSCF programs and non-CSCF programs. So let's go over CSU and CSCF programs first. So our first type is the CSU International Program, which short for the abbreviated version is CSU IP, which is a semester or year-long exchange program with a Cal State partner university. So basically the 23 campuses of the Cal States, they partner up with the Chancellor's Office, and the Chancellor's Office has study abroad programs all over the world. CSUF Reciprocal Exchange, meanwhile, is a semester or year-long exchange program with a CSUF partner university. So it's kind of like CSU IP programs, except Fullerton, we at Fullerton have direct partnerships with different universities around the world. Next is our CSUF department programs. This is a short-term or semester-long program with CSUF department and faculty. And finally, there are the CSUF Co-Curricular and Non-Credit Bearing Program. This is a short-term service learning or research experience with CSUF. And for all CSU and CSUF programs, you're paying CSUF tuition and fees. You can earn residential units, and you directly use state and federal aid for costs. And for any short-term programs within CSU and CSUF programs, you can use the leftover of your financial aid. The next type is our non-CSCF programs. So first type is the non-CSCF direct enroll. This is a short-term semester or year-long program with an unaffiliated international institution. So if we don't have a partnership with a certain university you want to go to, or IP doesn't have that as well, then you would directly enroll with that foreign institution. Next is the Non-Cscf Provider. This is a short-term semester or year-long program with a company or organization. So basically the provider is just like a direct enroll, except the provider will help facilitate and do the administration of many of a lot of the program application there. And for non-CSUF programs, you're paying post-program tuition and fees. You can only earn transfer credits, and you can directly use only federal financial aid for costs. And for short-term programs, you can use the leftover of financial aid. And if you want more information about our program options, please see the general programs flyer in our Dropbox link. Again, if you don't have that Dropbox link, I can send that to you at the end of this info session, or else you can just take a look at it yourself. Any questions on this portion? Okay, I'll just go over the questions later. Okay, next I want to briefly talk about virtual programs. So why do a virtual program? So as you all know, COVID-19 has disrupted travel all across the globe, as well as how we work and live, but doesn't have to disrupt your education, goals, or dreams. For students looking to complete courses or internship credit, several virtual global programs are being offered. Why do a virtual program? According to Forbes, even if you can't show up in person, you can still show up ready to learn, work, and grow as a professional. With many predicting that the future of work after the pandemic will be remote, a virtual internship or program can be a boot camp for the skills you'll need, communicating effectively, operating as part of a team, meeting deadlines, asking for help, and more for the rest of your career. And to see a current list of virtual programs offerings you can see a list of virtual program offerings we have on our Global Titan program portal. And so basically, any internship programs that you're interested in that are being held either domestically or internationally, we do have various programs for those. So if you're interested in that, you can go to our program portal, which I'll show you later. Okay, so how do I apply? How would you apply for a study abroad or global engagement program? So for any type of program, for all types of programs, you must always submit an application to the Global Titans program portal. And as different programs have different requirements for applications as well. So for the Csu International Program, there are 3 applications you need to complete. So first you apply online with CSUF through the portal and with CSU IP through their website at the same time. Then after you get accepted, students apply with their exchange university. So basically, before you are accepted, you first have to fill out the CSUF application, and you have to also fill out the CSU IP application at the same time. After you get accepted, there will be a third application that you have to do with Exchange University. The second type is the CSUF Reciprocal Exchange Program. So this requires 2 applications. First, you apply online with CSUF. Then after you get accepted, students apply with their Exchange University. Third type is CSUF Department and Co-Curricular Program. You usually apply online with CSUF. And application processes vary by department. So if you're applying for a department or co-curricular program, please look at the details. And fourth is a non-Cscf program. So there are 2 applications. You apply online with CSUF and with your host program. All right. Next is financial aid. How would you use financial aid in the study abroad or global engagement program? So before I talk about all this general financial aid stuff, please visit the Office of Financial Aid for more information. They can give you much more tailored and detailed information for your own circumstances. And of course, remember to fill out a FAFSA application every year in order to qualify for financial aid. You can get grants and student loans. And applications open every October 1st and are due March 2nd. And to apply for FAFSA, you go to studentaid.ed.gov. And most programs accept financial aid as payment for tuition or program fees. And remember that as a general rule, CSU or CSUF programs can use federal, which are Pell Grant and federal loans, and state Cal Grants, state university grants, and middle class scholarship financial aid. And non-CSUF or independent programs may only use federal financial aid. And of course, work study cannot be used for any program since you'll not be working while you're abroad. And for most students, their financial aid award does not change when studying abroad. And please see our frequently asked questions about financial aid and study abroad flyer, which is in that Dropbox link. And of course, scholarships. There are a lot of scholarships available. A ton, honestly. So there's so many types of scholarships. So let's just go over them real quick. So first is a need-based scholarship. So for example, there's the Benjamin A. Gilman Scholarship or Fund for Education Abroad. To look at your need for financial aid in order to get that scholarship. Second is a college or department-based scholarship. For example, that's the Maxwell International Travel Scholarship or HSS Scholarship. Next type is the location-based scholarship. For example, the bridging scholarships for Japan or the DAAD for Germany. Fourth type is a program-based scholarship, IP or non-CSUF programs, and more. And if you participate in a CSU or CSUF semester or a year-long program, you're still able to use CSU, ASI, and university scholarships and awards. And for a longer list of scholarships that are offered, please see the study abroad scholarships flyer and scholarships listed on our website. And our website is a good place to start looking for scholarships, but of course you can also just Google around and see what scholarships are available, whether that's for study abroad or just for regular enrollment. So there are tons of scholarships out there. So I encourage you to check them out. All right, so what would be your next steps in your goals to apply for a study abroad or a global engagement program? So first, do your research. Go to extension.fullerton.edu/study abroad. Click on search programs. From there, there will be like a long list of programs that we offer. You can compare courses, costs, requirements, deadlines, etc. Also, think about your academic, personal, and professional goals, both short-term and long-term. Be open to different destinations. Talk to your family and friends about studying abroad. I'm sure they deserve to know. Also, consult the Office of Financial Aid. Consult your academic advisor. And this is very important. Maintain both your cumulative and CSUF GPA. That's 2.5 to 2.0, depending on the program. And apply for a passport if you don't have one already, or renew it. And fill out the FAFSA every year. Meet, and very important, meet with a CSUF study abroad advisor. So you're probably going to meet with Jum or Eileen. I highly recommend it. And for many cases, it's required for the application process. And of course, apply for a program. These steps aren't in any particular order, so just go ahead and do them. And if you want to see that full list, that full checklist, please see the study abroad phases and checklist flyer in that Dropbox link. Okay, advising. So how you schedule an advising. So visit our advising webpage. I'll go through it briefly later when I show you our website. You can book an advising appointment. Advising right now is via Zoom meetings, 30-minute appointments, and they're by major. You can also check. You can do drop-in advising times. They're also via Zoom. They're 15-minute sessions, first come, first serve, and by major. Oh yes, someone said, "Can you add the link into the chat?" Are you talking about the Dropbox link? If it's a Dropbox link, I'll give it to you at the very end of. I'll put it. Oh, the appointment making one. Yeah, I'll actually show you where you can make the appointment later at the website. So you sit tight for that, please. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we have so many global engagement opportunities as well on campus. So please join our Global Titans community. Of course, we have virtual global programs and internships. Oh, also the virtual global engagement expo is happening right now. It's from February 9th to February 11th. As I talked about in the beginning of this info session is part of the Global Engagement Expo, but there are so many other programming that is happening right now. For example, there are different nonprofit organizations doing events for the Global Engagement Expo, different clubs, and also you can explore different program options we offer at Fullerton. Yes, next is our Global Titans Buddy program. I briefly talked about this at the beginning of this info session. So basically this program is you as a local student will be paired with an international student studying at Fullerton, and what you do is you're basically introducing them to American culture or SoCal, and they're going to introduce their culture to them. Is basically you're doing a cultural exchange, and so if you want to meet people from abroad, from different countries, this is a really good program to do so. Also, there's the Global Titans Ambassador Program. This is what I'm a part of. Basically, any student who has done a study abroad program or any global engagement program, they can apply for this program. And in this program, you're promoting studying abroad. You're promoting study abroad. And you're working closely with the study abroad office as well as with different prospective students who are interested in studying abroad. And one of the events, and so for example, me doing this info session is part of the Global Titans Ambassador Program. So after your study abroad experience, if you're interested in promoting studying abroad, you can just apply for the Global Titans Ambassador Program. Next, there's the Phi Beta Delta. This is an international honor society. It's for students who have studied abroad or have had international experience and would want to network, as well as get scholarships for college. Also, there are many postgraduate opportunities. So the Fulbright Scholarship Program, the Peace Corps JET Program, graduate degrees abroad, and more. So there are so many different ways to get involved. So if possible, please get involved. We'll greatly appreciate it. Oh, and there's a question in the chat. Can we possibly get matched with a buddy from a specific country of our choosing? So Julian is a study abroad advisor. She's the one who administers this program. It really depends on the international students who come to Fullerton to study here. You might not be able to get the country of choice. You can, of course, when you're applying for this buddies program, you can list your preferences, so what countries they come from, etc. But it's not guaranteed that you'll get the buddy that you want, just because there are logistical restraints. So that just really depends on the program and the cohort of students who study abroad or who are international students in Fullerton. So yeah, I can't really answer that question in specific. Hopefully that is an adequate answer. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go over our website. I'll go over the calendar activities, how you make advising appointments for check drop-in advising hours, and how to research different programs. So you have to go to our website here, which is extension.fullerton.edu/studyabroad. I'll just go over there right now. Okay, let me just redo the share screen real quick. Okay. I think, can you all see the screen right now? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is our homepage. From here, you can research different program options we offer. And let's just go down here real quick. Right now, the Global Engagement Expo is happening. If you want to learn more about it, please click over here. International Education Week is coming up. That's probably going to be happening around March or April. We're not too sure about it, but it's coming soon. And this is, I'm sure, hopefully this is where some of you have registered for the info session. For this particular info session, you can just click right here to schedule or register for an info session. Right here is our virtual study abroad and global engagement office. This is basically like a hub, a homepage where students can look at all our different scholarships, financial aid, and other options. And yeah, we have a lot of events coming up this spring semester. So if you're interested, please take a look over here. And this is the advising. This is where you would schedule an advising appointment to talk about a specific program or any amount of programs you're interested in. So let's click right here, schedule advising. From here, you can click on which advisor applies to you. So if you're a student from the College of Business and Economics, you'll schedule an appointment with Julian. Or if you're a student from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, you'll click on Eileen to schedule an appointment. And at the bottom here is all the drop-in advising information. So just make sure that if you're going to do drop-in virtual advising, that you do it during these times. Zoom links are right here, and you are selecting the right advisor. So, for example, I'm a philosophy major, so if I want advising, I would click on Eileen. But if you are a communications major, you click on Julian. And from here, you can schedule an appointment. It should be pretty straightforward. There will be, you just select a date and a time, and you schedule it from there. And all advising is via Zoom right now. Okay, so now that I've showed the advising portion of our website, I want to take a look at the search programs feature. So basically, how would you research different study abroad opportunities we offer? So you can click on that orange button at the homepage of our website, or you can click here, search programs. So we'll just go there. Let me just make sure the share screen is good. Okay. Hopefully you can see all of this. So this is the Global Placement Program portal. So basically, it's a search engine. So if you know what program you're interested in, just go ahead and put that in. Or else, if you want to do a more general search, you can just, I recommend you just put in the country and term. If you have any parameters here that you want to adjust, just go ahead and do so. And if you just want to look at a list, a full list of all of our offerings, just click here to list all. I'll just show you that real quick. So basically from there, you just look at all of our program options here. Let me just go back real quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the search engine feature. So let's say you're interested in going to Spain, right? Just find Spain here real quick. Spain, okay? And you're fine with any term. You're fine with the length, any length for the program. If you want a specific length, whether it's fall semester, fall breaks, spring semester, winter session, etc., just click over here. I mean, I recommend that you don't have to really mess with this if you want to look at like a full list of of all the programs are available for that country. So I'm just gonna go ahead and search. So this is all of our offerings for any program that's happening within Spain. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one. This one looks interesting. It's a CSU IP program. So that means it's administered by the Chancellor's Office. And of course, you can look at all of the program detail. There's a lot of important information that you can look at. Location, what program terms it covers. This is a CSU IP program. Oh, this is a very important thing is a budget sheet. Just take a look at it. Basically, the budget sheet will show you your anticipated spending for this particular program. And so just take a look at this just to plan for the future, do your financial planning for this program. Very useful. Highly recommend you to take a look at this. Of course, if you're interested in applying for a program, please be aware of the application deadlines. They're rather strict about deadlines. So just when you're doing your application, just make sure that you're done with everything before the deadline. And all this important information here. I think important things you should look for is language prerequisite. But if a program requires you to have some kind of fluency or a college level of that language, housing options, GPA requirement, very important. They'll look at both of your cumulative and CSUF GPA. And let's see, financial aid, of course, is right here, class standing, language of instruction. So yeah, any of our programs that we list on our portal, it'll have all this information. You can just look through more of this information here. If you're looking for information about academics for this particular university, just click here to look at the academic bulletin. Yeah, and so of course, note all of this. And so basically go through, so when you're researching, go through any programs you're interested in, go through all the important information. And if you're interested in a program, just click apply now right here. And so any questions on this portion of researching different program options? I think earlier someone had a question about the Buddies program, and I believe you find it right here. Oh shoot. Okay, there's something wrong with the server. I think it's this one. Here we go. So if you're interested in the Global Titans Buddy program, you click on this link to sign up. Oh, I don't think Julian has updated this yet. So if you want to apply, just go over to our to the programs portal. You'll be able to find that link, or else I don't think this link has been updated yet. If that's the case, you can email Julian Kim. She's Julian Kim at fullerton.edu. If you're interested in the Global Titans Buddy program, just ask me at the very end for the contact info. Okay, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint now. Let's see. All right. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about my Global Titans stories. So basically my experience studying abroad. So I study abroad at a traditional year-long credit-bearing exchange program, which is a CSU IP program. I studied for one academic year from fall 2019 to spring 2020. And I study abroad at National Taiwan University at Taipei, Taiwan. And this particular university, this particular program, international students can take regular university courses for locals, meaning that many of the courses are in Chinese, taught in Chinese. There are also Chinese language courses to learn Mandarin and Taiwanese cultural courses for exchange or international students, which I also took. And this program, one of the interesting things about this program is that both CSU and UC students are bunched together under one advisor. And so I was able to meet a lot of UC students. And one interesting thing about Taipei or Taiwan or just East Asia in general is you get around using public transportation. It's very efficient, very clean. It arrives on time, it's very punctual. Yeah, it's very different from how we live here in Southern California. You know, we basically drive everywhere to get anywhere, but while I was abroad, I basically had to just take the metro or take the bus to get everywhere. So it was something, it's a small part of the experience, but it's nonetheless a part of the experience that's kind of impactful for me. And so one surprising thing about this program is the high usage of English in the university. And so National Taiwan University is a flagship university and a prestigious university. It's the prestigious university of Taiwan. So I'd expect some use of English, but this university has more than 800 courses that are taught in English. And so if you're worried that you don't know any Chinese and you want to study abroad in Taiwan, you can just take a look at this program, because there's a lot of English programs. So you'll probably find an English course that is for a discipline that you're interested in. And so what I liked about this program is the Chinese language learning course and flexibility and variety of courses offered. And so as part of this program, you have to learn Chinese. You have to take a general Chinese class. And actually, that Chinese language learning course is pretty high quality. I actually learned a lot. I was actually learning at an advanced level, and I thought I couldn't learn as much as I would be able to, but actually I learned a lot through this course, so I highly recommend it if you are interested in this program. Also like the flexibility and the variety of courses offered, right? As I said, there are over 800 different English courses that are offered with this university, and there's so many like different programs offered. I mean, it's a big comprehensive public university. You'll find every program, every discipline, or every subject that you need. So yeah. And why would I recommend this program? It is affordable, yet culturally enriching, and it's hidden, and it's like basically what I call it, hidden gem of Asia. And so yeah, why do I call it hidden gem of Asia? Because most people who want to study abroad in East Asia go to Japan, South Korea, or China, but not a lot of people think about Taiwan. But Taiwan's like right smack in the middle of between, I'd say like the bottom right of all these countries, and it's a very nice location if you want to just go abroad as well. Japan is nearby, as well as like Vietnam or Thailand. China's nearby as well. So it's really a place that not a lot of people consider. And if you're interested in studying abroad in East Asia and learning Chinese, I recommend the Csu IP Taiwan program. And so I'm gonna go over my budget, or how much I spent while I was in Taiwan. So of course, tuition fee, that's basically very close to CSUF tuition, plus some like processing, study abroad fees, as well as like insurance as part of the program. I spent around this much. Visa related fees, you have to get a visa, of course, that was around $200 for me. These are my flight tickets to and from Los Angeles to Taipei. Right, I mean, these prices are really cheap, but I mean, bear in mind this was pre-pandemic, so I was able to find really cheap tickets. I booked around 3 months in advance for Asia. I mean, my general advice is if you want to fly East Asia or Asia in general, the best time to look for tickets is 3 months before you want to depart, and that way, like the algorithms and whatnot will show you the best prices. Right, dorm rents, I rented a single room in the dorms, private with my own bathroom. That was around $3,000 for the whole program. So around $280 a month for rent. Meals, personal expenses around $5,000. So like eating out and just other like entertainment costs. And this here is my travel and trip costs. So how much money did I spend while going to various trips, like taking a trip to an outlying island of Taiwan, or going to Japan for winter break, kind of thing. So I spent that much for just for traveling. And so this is my total calculated program costs. And I received federal and state grants, which chopped off like around $12,000 of that price. And so I just had to foot around $7,000 for my whole program. And of course, your expenses will vary based on your lifestyle, the country that you're studying abroad in, and many other factors, including foreign exchange rates. And so just for context, the exchange rate between US dollars and New Taiwan dollars is 1 to 30. I mean, and for different countries like Spain, for example, they use the euro. It's around $1 to like 80.8 euros, 80 cents euros. So yeah, just I'd say the financial portion is very important to look at. You got to factor many different factors, right? Okay, oh, we have a question here. Let's see. Oh, let's see, I'll go over this first question here. Are you able to comfortably communicate with Chinese native speakers after finishing this program? So when I entered into this program, the CSU IP Taiwan, I actually studied Chinese for many years in the States already. And so I was entering at around intermediate to advanced fluency. So I mean, I was able to communicate with Chinese natives in the first place. So it was good for me, but your experience may vary. So if you don't know any Chinese, and when you're expecting yourself to be able to communicate with Chinese natives at least a conversational level. I mean, in my experience and of like other people I've talked to, Chinese is a very hard language. You might be able to communicate like basic stuff, but like if you're expecting to like at least have casual conversation with Chinese natives, it's kind of difficult. It's possible if you put in the time to study and you really immerse yourself in the culture. But yeah, it just really depends on where your fluency is coming into the program, as well as how diligently you study Chinese while you're there. Second question, are the tuition fees separate from the fees we pay semesterly to attend Fullerton? So if you're gonna do a study abroad program, the tuition that you pay to Cal State Fullerton, it'll automatically be rerouted towards that program, and so for tuition, the tuition fees depend on the program. As a general rule, the tuition is very close to what you'll pay for Fullerton, at least for a CSU or CSUF programs, but there is like slight variation, of course. So yeah, so any tuition you pay to CSUF in anticipation of you studying abroad, that tuition will just be rerouted to that program. Yeah, so basically the tuition, you'll not be paying tuition to attend Fullerton. Actually, it's pretty complicated because you are paying tuition to be a Fullerton student even if you're abroad, but you're going to be studying abroad. I believe that you pay through the student portal. It really depends on what kind of program you're doing. So if you're doing a CSU or CSUF program, that's probably through the student portal. Of course, our study abroad advisors will be administering all that student tuition and financial aid. And so it just really depends. So if you're doing a non-CSUF program, you're going to be paying through the university or the provider. Okay, so for example, yeah, so for example, I took federal and state grants were able to cover all of my tuition fees. So that was already posted on my student portal, and how that money went towards my programs. Basically, the study abroad office will basically do everything in the background to reroute that money towards the program. Okay, so when are the deadlines for spring semester admission? Spring semester, do you mean spring 2022 or spring 2021 right now? Because for 2022, I believe all the deadlines are during the fall semester. So it depends on the program. Just when you're researching programs, please take a look at all those deadlines. It'll show you when the spring semester deadlines are. Yeah, IP applications as well. So yeah, just go to our portal, take a look at the deadlines. They all vary since for certain countries, their academic years start like in the spring. So it really depends. Right, that depends on the program. So let me just go back to the program portal real quick. Let me just go back real quick. So basically, you can just take a look at all the programs. So if you're interested in studying abroad in Australia, let's see, you can look at the deadlines here. Let's see, calendar year. So the deadlines are all posted for each program. You just got to take a look. It really depends on the programs. CSUF exchange programs, they have different deadlines as well. So for spring semester 2022, that'll be around October 1st. So it really does depend on the program. So just at your own time, you're gonna have to find out what those deadlines are. I mean, yeah, let me go back to the PowerPoint now. Okay, all right. Okay, let me just finish my own portion here. So what was my takeaway from my study abroad experience? So I think I became more well-rounded, independent, flexible, open-minded, more culturally sensitive. I mean, a lot of people say that when they've had a study abroad experience, but I think it is true that you cultivate all of these traits. And so it's really fun time for me to be there, and it was a really good way to really open up my worldview. In terms of academic enrichment, I was exposed to foreign academic culture. I mean, Taiwanese academic culture compared to American academic culture is really different, and I was able to experience those differences. For international learning, I cultivated a perspective and role of the U.S. from a foreign perspective. And so like each country has their own perspective of what the U.S. is. And I've been able to talk to different people in Taiwan about what they think about the U.S. and how the U.S. has affected their own country, I guess. So yeah, it was a very humbling learning experience for me. For professional development, I developed my leadership and interview skills. For leadership opportunities, I participated in a volunteer program there, which basically I was paired with an international student, and what we did is that we Skyped every week with Taiwanese elementary school students. And these elementary school students are from all over Taiwan, whether it's the countryside or the city or the outlying islands. And so I had to lead all of those like sessions. I basically like shared, oh, what's American culture? Oh, what's my own family life like? Or like, oh yeah, what's like American culture like? What do we eat? Kind of thing. And so it was a very, very cool way of me to talk to like elementary school students, like people you won't usually talk to in a study abroad experience. And for interview skills, I did interview for a board position for a club in National Taiwan University. It was all in Chinese, so pat on the back for me being able to do that. So yeah, so for concerns and challenges is I think the challenges that you will face if you're studying abroad is meeting local friends, being involved with host universities, and practicing the local language. So for me, local friends, I think that was hard just because, you know, everyone has their own life, they have their own thing going on, and you have to be proactive and also respectful of their time. And so it can be a challenge meeting local people. But as long as you're proactive, it's possible to make many local friends. Also being involved in host university. I mean, you're an international student, you're a foreigner basically when you're studying abroad. And so of course there's like a cultural barrier to actually being involved with host university, but it is possible. I've done it, it is possible. And of course, practicing the local language for me. So for this specific university, as I said, they use so much Chinese. I mean, sorry, they use so much English that I couldn't find a good way to practice my Chinese, but I was still able to get a lot of good Chinese practice out of it anyways, because I was able to find ways to talk to people, to find people who are willing to, you know, talk in Chinese with me. And of course, once you step out of the university, you're basically required to use Chinese. So there's that. So what am I doing with my experience right now? So right now, I'm part of the Global Titans Ambassador Program. I'm also doing the Buddy Program, and I want to be more culturally sensitive in academics. And for future aspirations, I'm interested in the DC Scholars Program. That is a study away program, basically a domestic program where Fullerton students have an opportunity to do an internship in Washington, DC. And so I'm just so interested in that. I'm also interested in developing an international career in consulting, international development, international business, basically anything that has like international in it. I'm like all for it. So yeah, and so these are some of the pictures of me here in Taiwan, me doing calligraphy, and this is just Taiwan in general. I mean, you might recognize this building, Taipei 101. That's like iconic. Yeah, but this is like Taiwan. It's like a very dense city surrounded by mountains, luscious green mountains. And we've reached the end of our intro session. So any questions? Oh, any questions for me? Oh yeah, Andrew Lopez said Taipei is a huge tech R&D and computer component manufacturing hub. It's like what Israel is to the Middle East region, a hidden tech gem. Taiwan may be a small island, but Taipei is a massive metropolitan city. That's right. Taiwan does have a lot of R&D going on. It's in fact the biggest semiconductor manufacturer in the world. So very interesting. Yeah. Any other questions for me? You can unmute right now, and you can unmute right now. You can and just voice your question, or you can put it on the chat. So let's see. How long did it take for me to save up the money for study abroad? So let's see. I got like a lot of grants, so that covered a lot of my program costs, as you've seen with the budget breakdown. I also had a part-time job, and I like during the summer I basically worked full time. I had a part-time job in Fullerton. I worked for IT, and so I worked 40 hours a week, and it was like minimum wage, but it like gave me a really good amount of money for the study abroad program. Right. So I say how long? At least half a year. I think you need at least like half a year to a year of just saving up money. So just think about it like you're paying tuition, of course, but then the main like component of your budget that will fluctuate and depend on you is like all of like the rental costs or the meals that you'll be paying for, the entertainment that you'll be paying for, traveling abroad if you want to do that. So that just really depends on how your lifestyle will be. Right. Any other questions for me?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm actually a junior, or like this is my junior year right now at Fullerton, and I'm like interested in studying abroad next spring. But then obviously like I'd be a senior by then. So then, like when you wait, what grade were you in when you studied
I studied
abroad?
abroad my sophomore year. That's pretty unusual.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm graduating next like 2022, like the spring. But if I wanted to study abroad in the spring semester, like I'd either have to take another semester, an extra semester. But is it possible to study abroad like post grad, or like finish all my major classes and then like take my extra semester as a study abroad?
Right. So that is possible. If you're willing to like do all your major courses and get all your units for graduation, and then you don't have to like apply for graduation yet. You can just delay your graduation by semester. That's one way to do it. Another way is for a lot of our study abroad programs that we have partnerships with, you can actually earn residential units that will apply towards your major, your GEs, etc. And so if you can find the right program and you can get those courses approved for your major, it's possible that you can like take a lot of your major courses abroad and just fulfill your graduation requirements, but that is a pretty slim chance. It is possible though. Yeah, so there are different ways of approaching it. Please talk to one of the academic study abroad advisors for more information about that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
and for the spring semester applications, you
Yeah.
said that the deadline's in fall, but then does that include the like IP application and also the CSU application? Because you said there's three, right?
Right.
So
So
that
so there are many different types of programs. So what,
Mhm.
what I talked about the CSU IP and CSUF programs. In general, the deadlines for spring semester are in fall. But if you're applying for another type of program, for example, a non-Cscf program, so you're basically finding your own program online, and they have different deadlines as well. So, so I guess as a general rule, you can say for if you want to study abroad in spring 2022, the deadlines are fall 2021. But that really, it also depends on the each country and each university, each foreign university as well. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Does anyone want that Dropbox link that I was talking about throughout this info session? I can just put that in the chat right now. Let me just find it. Yeah, let's find it real quick. Whew. Yeah, go ahead and put any of your questions in the chat. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Let's see. All right, so that's the Dropbox link to all of the flyers that I was talking about throughout this info session. Yeah, I'll be sticking around for the last 4 minutes till 11 a.m. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me, or else you're free to leave.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.